Today, our guest is one of our very own. Please welcome the founder and president of Kent State's most famous satire group, Adam Fneiche of the Kent Nut.
Oh, it's so good to be here.
Yeah, hi. How's it going?
Good. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
So tell us about yourself. Tell us about the Kent Nut.
So my name's Adam Fneiche. I go to Kent State.
Yeah.
And I'm the founder and president of the Kent Nut, which is basically the best way I can describe it is the satire news group. So it's basically the Onion for Kent State. And I have to pitch this to a lot of people, and a lot of younger people don't know what satire news is.
Yeah.
So the way I always say it is it's fake news, but it's funny.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's more than that.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
Family.
Well, I think it brings the community together.
In a way.
I think a lot of Kent students really enjoy to see those posts every week. At least I do. But how did the Kent Nut start?
So it's actually a really funny story. I was a freshman, and I was on Yik Yak.
Okay.
And I saw this meme, and it said, like, Kent State to build a second Kuntz next to the first one.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's really funny. I could capitalize on this.
Sure. Right. Okay, cool. How do people come up with story ideas?
Typically we ask them, like, what frustrates you?
Sure, yeah.
Because I think a lot of good satire comes from critique. Within the writing process, you have to kind of say no to a lot of ideas that aren't, like, satire. Because a lot of people come in and they're, like, excited to do some funny stuff, but they treat it more like a meme page than like satire. And we have, like, a term for stuff like that. We call them buzzballs. Yeah. Because they're just kind of, like, big, slimy, like, collections of buzzwords that just are not, like, that's just not what we do.
Yeah, they don't, like, go together very well.
Yeah, they're not, like, poignant.
Yeah, okay, cool. So what is the process behind creating a post? I know you guys usually do a graphic, things like that. What goes into that? Yeah,
so we have weekly meetings every Friday. And we come in with a bunch of ideas, and we go through the list, and we approve and deny them. And so we typically, as a group, we put together the content schedule for the next week. And on paper, after that, it's up to the writers and the communications director to kind of work together on making the graphic, but I'm also the communications director, so I just kind of, like, think about, like, what to throw together in Photoshop the day of.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Cool. So there have been plenty of scenarios especially last semester. You guys are so quick with, like, creating things right after something happens. For instance, like the Rapture post.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a really good one. How are you guys, like, what's the process of getting something done that quickly?
So we have our main communication, this is our group me, and every now and then when there's a moment like that, we put together, we call it emergency articles, because something like really interesting is happening. So, like, I remember the day of the Rapture. Yeah.
You said that like it happened.
But the day when the Rapture happened, I remember just the group me was blowing up, everyone was riffing. I think the first idea, like, there was a lot of ideas that came about, but the first draft of that idea was, like, the power plant employees got raptured, and that's why the power is out today. And one of our members wanted to do a commentary on First Energy's business practices, but eventually we kind of, like, fine-tuned it all in and came up with that Rapture.
Yeah. That's so cool that you guys can build off of that even after just one post. Like, it kind of snowballs. Yeah. What specific topics are the most interesting to highlight, in your opinion?
For me personally, I like stirring things up.
Yeah.
I like more of an absurdist article idea. My favorite one that I've written recently, my favorite two that I've written of all time has to be, like, the suicide nets in the architecture building and the parking services authorized to use physical force. So I guess beyond physical violence and harm, I really just like absurd ideas.
For sure.
Things that are, like, believable but, like, extreme.
Yeah, yeah. What are some of your biggest inspirations?
So one of my biggest inspirations, besides like The Onion, was at Michigan State in Ann Arbor. They have their own satire newspaper called the Every 3 Weekly.
Okay.
And they were a big inspiration. I had a lot of meetings with their staff when I was creating the Kent Nut. And I just want to give a quick shout out to someone who really helped me with the structure behind the Kent Nut. That is Alton Northup, who used to work for the Kent Wired before the big merge.
Sure.
I sat down with him and I told him about all my ideas for Kent Nut, and he kind of helped me put together the structure of like a news organization. So big shout out to you, Alton. Thank you.
Oh, awesome. Thank you for sharing. Have any interesting conflicts with KSU happened? Just like higher ups, administration, things like that.
None so far, and I can only hope that stays that way.
Great. Would you play the trumpet?
I've thought about it.
Yeah.
I used to play the euphonium in middle school. Shout out Timberstone, the Timberstone Junior High.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought about it though.
Okay. What is your thoughts on the $5 hot dog meal deal at Sheetz?
The $5 hot dog meal deal at Sheetz it's really nice. It's $5, 2 hot dogs, small bag of nuggets, small bag of fries, a small fountain drink. It's a great deal. And within the last month, I've probably had like 30 hot dogs.
Awesome.
That's only like 15 because it's like 2 hot dogs in a
Yeah,
meal.
yeah. What advice would you give students who are anxious about college life? Because I know coming in, I was very anxious about it. Coming from like a smaller town, I didn't know anybody.
Sylvania.
Yeah, yeah.
Sylvania, Ohio, that's where you're from.
Yeah.
And me too.
Right.
I had to speak to a lot of anxious freshmen. I work at like DKS and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And honestly, the biggest advice I can give is talk to as many people as you can and talk to as many people in different majors. Because in my time, I've probably spent too much time networking within my own major, which is great. But you get just a small slice of what's happening on campus because there's so much diversity in what's happening. And I remember there was this incoming freshman, he was in the fashion program, and I said, well, if you make all your friends in fashion, that's great. You know what the clothing people are up to.
Yeah.
But the rock people, the geology majors, they could be having some crazy parties. They could be having some really fun hangouts. They could be having their whole rich world, and you'd never know what the rock people are up to. So you got to go out there and don't just talk to the clothing people. You got to talk to the rock people or the engineering people. Yeah,
of course. Talk to the rock people. Is there anything else you'd like to promote?
So I'd like to promote the Kent Nut. It's at the Kent Nut on Instagram. Also, my radio show, Scholitude, on Black Squirrel Radio. It's Monday nights, 8 to 10 p.m.
It's very fun. Very fun. Yeah. I've been a part of that before.